Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk Wonder Woman. But before we do, Henry Cavill. This is him being cast for Superman, and he doesn't even know it. And the interesting thing about this is that he's actually wearing the costume that Christopher Reeves wore. And if you look, the person who's taking the photo is obviously none other than Zack Snyder. So that's very interesting. Wonder Woman has grossed in $354,602,300 domestically, and it's creeping up on Deadpool. So very soon, Wonder Woman will be the number 2 superhero origin film in North America, or domestically, and that would be awesome. So we'll see how that transpires. What am I going to talk about right now? Well, I'm going to talk about the various outfits or costumes that Gal Gadot wore as Wonder Woman. Now, we all know that she wore the Wonder Woman costume, and actually, on Twitter, a lady who is actually into fashion and design, Amanda Weaver, speaks more about the fact that the costume for Wonder Woman and for the Amazons was actually, really like the actual Greek and ancient people's costumes. Now, I did a video on this a long time ago, but Amanda Weaver, she jumps in. She's pretty late to the party, but nonetheless, she jumps in and starts to speak about it because she's a costume designer herself. So she spoke about how when she saw Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, she thought that Linda Carter's costume, as you see right here, which is made of cloth, etc., reminds her very much of sexy underwear. So, she sighed about that. But she said Wonder Woman and all the Amazons are warriors. This is not what a warrior wears into battle, which is very true. And then she talked about the egregious Adrian Palicki's failed Wonder Woman pilot a few years back. She likens it onto a fetish wear. I don't really see it as fetish wear per se. I can see how she could say that concerning the bosom area here, but nonetheless, it's not battling warrior outfits, that's for sure. And she said the only thing holding those girls inside is a cartoon of Topi, Tape, and Luck, and she's supposed to be a warrior. The sad thing is, when I saw that pic leak a few years ago, as much as the overflowing boobs pained me, I let it go. I accepted it as inevitable that any depiction of Wonder Woman would be over-sexualized to an extreme degree. That's all we ever get. Then I saw Lindy Hemmings' work yesterday, and I almost cried. Scratch that, I did cry. And she's talking about Lindy Hemmings, who is the person who designed the costuming for Wonder Woman and also for the Amazons. And she said because it was organic material, very little survived. That is, the Romans made armor out of overlapping bands of heavy leather. And in fact, if you look at the costuming on Antiope, it's basically bands of heavy leather over each other, overlapping bands of heavy leather. So this is really a warrior costume here. And though she said it's highly stylized on Diana, you see again the overlapping bands of leather. You can see them right there. Okay. Now, she said also that she saw Roman armor that was made out of crocodile hide, and if you see the crocodile hide here in the Roman armor, and you can see that Hippolyta also has hide made out of fake crocodile leather, but the point is you see that in the Amazon. She also talks about them, the folklore is that they cut off their left breast so they were able to draw a bow. So Lindy Hemming actually gave them a metal breastplate on the left side, okay, which could mean that their left breast is actually cut off. That's the implication there, okay. Again, she realizes that the costuming is armor. And again, all of these things in a different sort of way, she's speaking about the actual armor that soldiers wear. Here are the braces for the knees, and they're called Roman greaves. Okay, they're actual guards for the feet. So again, this is nothing that I haven't covered already, and I talked about Xena Warrior Princess and so many other things, and why the United Nations really don't know what they're talking about when they talk about Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is not over-sexualized, and she sure as hell wasn't wearing some sort of stripper porn or some sort of bathing suit, not in this case. So Amanda Weaver just once again confirms what I've been saying all along. But Amanda Weaver needs to know that Gal Gadot actually wore other costuming besides just the basic costuming she just spoke about, which was Wonder Woman costume. Here she is in a training sort of outfit, and if you look, the straps again keep the clothing up somewhat, because again the clothing is not strapped on any other way. And you will notice that again it's armored. You can see how heavily armored it is, sort of heavy metallic kind of leather and armor. Also you see the gauntlets on her side, and you can see her in action with this armor here, and you can see definitely she can use it to fight in, etc. Alright, it's very flexible. Alright, I've talked about this at length in another video, so this is nothing new. And you will notice that the armor that she was wearing there is reflective of the armor she wears as a soldier here as well. And this is supposed to be metal plates on her here. Okay, I have spoken about this so much. I talk about Troy, 300, Gladiator, and all the same kind of stuff, right? And these people actually existed, okay? But she also, in the movie, wore a number of other sets of clothing. Like, for instance, she cloaked herself with this outfit that you see here. Okay, she's basically cloaked her armor so she doesn't look like a soldier all the time. And as she comes to London, she sees what women wear, and this is a corset, of course, an undergarment, and she doesn't know that. And she's saying, oh, what kind of armor you wear? So she's thinking, well, this is an interesting kind of armor. Alright. Eventually she wears this. This is very functional, this outfit. And it's something that the women who actually became business people and powerhouses actually wore. Back in the 1911s and 12s and 18s when they were fighting for suffrage and so on. So this is very interesting that she's wearing this outfit. I think I spoke about this at length. But what's very interesting about it also is it is very functional. She can move much more easily in it. So she's thinking functionally, which I thought was very interesting. But Diana evolves into many different uniforms and clothing through time. So here she is now. She's in a beautiful dress. Definitely a head turner as she moves towards who she thinks is Ares, at least Ludendorff. Of course, she has a sword in the back, so there's actually a point to what she's doing. Alright? And then we see her at the end of the movie dressed again in a sort of functional way. These are comfortable clothing for her. And she's sort of functionally dressed again. Very, very progressive for her time. This is back in World War I, remember. This is a very progressive clothing to wear. And again, you see that Diana more dresses in things that are functional. Now we fast track 100 years later, and here she is in something that's sleek, it's functional, and it's also very, very, very attractive. Okay? But you can see that Diana here is still a little bit naive compared to the Diana here, who is a totally different person. You can tell that. And this Diana, you see here, she knows, she's much more wily about the world of men and how the world works. Okay? Here she is in a gorgeous costuming. I mean, Gal is just a gorgeous person to hoot. But again, it's somewhat reminiscent of the motif that she constantly wears, a strap around, strapping the suit together. If you notice, here she has the strap here. You see, she has a strap here. When she's Wonder Woman, she's got that strap. Well, you can't see it, but there it is, that strap right there. So everything she does has a certain motif to it. You see what I'm saying? Now here she's dressed in a suit, so you can't say much about that. But there's the strap. There's two straps here this time. Okay. There's no strap there. Here there's no strap, but then in this gorgeous costuming here, it is strapped this way, and then it has a shoulder part. So again, reminiscent of her Themysciran roots. Okay. Here she is, just wearing a beautiful, and again, of course, Gala was a model and everything, so it makes sense. So she looks gorgeous in this again. But notice how much fashion and design and again, all these old motifs. Notice this design here is very ancient. It's an ancient motif. Here she is again. This time she's in a very rugged looking costume as she goes to protect the world from doomsday. She realizes it's a threat, and Diana does not hesitate to help. She may help under the guise. Here she is at the Louvre. The Louvre. She's going towards the Louvre. This is her at the Louvre. Again, her outfit is very interesting. Here she is now. This is a little later on where she's interacting with Bruce Wayne. And again, she has a different outfit here. Much more relaxed outfit. Here she is as a curator. And again, look at this gorgeous outfit. Of course, Gal is a model, so all of that plays into what she's doing, but still, it's really awesome. And again, people talk about Wonder Woman, but they don't realize Wonder Woman becomes world savvy rather quickly. Okay, so when you see Wonder Woman in the Justice League, she's going to have a lot of fashion statements and a lot of things that she does. Of course, underneath all of that, she's just a brutal soldier, but the cool thing about her is that there's a lot of dimension to her. And I just wanted to talk about the different outfits because a lot of people have missed the point that Diana has evolved with time. And mostly the outfits that you see her wearing are sort of reflective of her evolution. And it's very interesting. That's why I would really enjoy seeing what Patty Jenkins does with her the next time we see Wonder Woman, which I hope would be in the present time. And just to catch up with what she's actually doing now in the present time, since she's in the world of man and mankind, how she's become savvy with mankind and understands them a lot much better, because she chuckles when she says "and mankind" when at the beginning of the Wonder Woman movie, when she's at the Louvre and she's narrating. So that means she finds something very funny and a joke about mankind. So there must be something else we don't know. There's a lot of gaps here. There's 100 years going on there. So I would love to see what she does in, the real time, like now. What's she doing? What she's been about? We know she's a curator. We know she was at the Louvre. For what reason, I don't know. But I'm very curious to catch up on what Wonder Woman is doing in the present time. That would be very, very interesting. So that's what I would want to know. I mean, the whole world doesn't know about Wonder Woman, right? The whole world knew about Superman and he died. The whole world doesn't know about Batman, right? Gotham knows about Batman, but the whole world doesn't know about Batman. In fact, Superman died by destroying Doomsday. Nobody hears anything. The paper doesn't report anything on Wonder Woman, and it doesn't report anything on Batman. You notice that? Isn't that interesting? So I'm just saying, the Metropolitan Daily Planet, Metropolis's Daily Planet didn't report anything on Batman or Wonder Woman, which means they probably disappeared from the scene, and the only person who knew that they were there was Lois Lane. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying I'm very intrigued by all of this. Batman, he's just an urban legend, and you hear Cyborg say that. He said, "Didn't think you were real." And then Batman says, "I'm real when it's useful," right? So, of course, Diana knows who Bruce is. Diana knows Bruce is Batman. Clearly, she knows that. Bruce knows Diana is Wonder Woman, even though no one has ever called her Wonder Woman, not even in the movie Wonder Woman, she's been called Wonder Woman. So it's still interesting. I would like to see if in Justice League somebody calls her Wonder Woman, because that would be cool. You know what I'm saying?